What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I'm just kind of multitasking at the moment. Just posted my Mortal Kombat 2021 review. Probably not the smartest thing to post it while I'm doing a live stream or in the middle of or as I'm starting it. But it took me so long to kind of gather my feelings and my thoughts on the movie. So don't mind me. We're still waiting on people to get in here anyway, so it's fine. There we go. How's everybody doing? All right. Time to do a quick little promo. I have very mixed feelings about the movie. But we're not here to talk about that. We could talk about that if we want to, but that finale, man. So good. What's up, Noah? Got Saeed in here. Customize, what's up? Susan, doing really good today. I'm glad to hear it. It's been a pretty chill day so far for me. I had a weird night though. Like after the movie, what's up, Jay? I had a weird night. After I saw Mortal Kombat, I was up. So during the morning when I woke up at like 1:30 in the morning to get ready, start getting ready for Falcon and the Winter Soldier to drop. So took my shower, started waiting for the show to come out, watched it obviously, and then started editing. I only had about 2 hours before I had to be up for work, so I figured why not? I'll go ahead and record Invincible instead of taking my usual pre-work nap, which I usually do. And then I recorded Invincible, started work. Then throughout the day, just kind of worked on that edit as I could. Didn't get to take a nap after work or on my lunch, which I typically do. And then went to see Mortal Kombat. Once I got home, it was probably like 9 o'clock at night, something like that. And I just passed out, which is pretty early for me on a normal day. Woke up again at like 3 in the morning. Was up until 7, went back to bed, woke up. I'm just my sleep schedule after this last episode got all kinds of thrown off. I'm seeing Mortal Kombat with my friends tonight. Nice. I will keep any spoilers to a minimum then. Then again, on my the review I posted, if you're curious what I thought, I do not go into spoilers. So if you're interested in checking that out at all, it is up currently. I just put it up. And I'm promoting it now. So I'm multitasking. Oddly enough, I did notice that as long as the stream quality stays accurate, or stable is probably the better word. If my stream, because about 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, my internet cut out and it just came back on immediately. So I'm hoping that as long as it stays stable while we're all discussing this, that we can do what we did last weekend, because New Rockstars was early again with their breakdown. We might do a live reaction like we did last time. Let's see. There we go. Let me be. There we go. I don't know. I like when I can be cheesy on a tweet or something like that. I like it. Right. Boom. All right. What's up? Sorry about that. Damn, it's about to end. What's about to end? What's about to end? So guys, what do you all think of the finale? And if you all watch Invincible, whatever you guys want to talk about, we don't have to stay on topic completely. I would prefer it if we did, but we can talk about anything, man. The finale of the show is fantastic. Sorry I didn't watch your reaction yet. Well, you better get on top of that. Spent about 20 minutes after the show's over talking about it, man. It was really good. It does feel like one thing I don't think I talked about in my reaction though is that kind of after rewatching it a few times, that I love that it felt like the non-action sequences of the episode were a little rushed. I'll say that at least, because a good chunk of the episode was just non-stop action. And I would have liked to have seen like a nice little focus more on some of Bucky's conversation with Nakajima, spend a little more time with the fallout of everything that happened with the characters. But that's a small little nitpick. Kind of hated the Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale. Yeah, I don't get anybody that's upset with it at all. I loved every bit of it. What did you not like about it? Mocker, calling you out. I like the action. I like what happened with what they did with Walker. The only thing that I didn't like, and I don't remember if I talked about it or not, was the only thing I didn't like in the episode was the reveal that Sharon Carter was a villain the whole time. And that she's still a villain, even though she got her pardon. That's the only thing, because it seems really out of character for her. But then again, we haven't seen her journey on the other side since her life started in Madripoor, so she might just be forever changed in this world. And I'm just wondering about that whole thing. Cap's hero entrance with his new suit was so great. Me too. And I thought so too. I love how you could see him like flying overhead, but you never got like a good glimpse of him until the reveal time. He was like this thing lingering in the shadows. Like it almost felt like a Batman scene kind of, until the big smash into the villain's room. Second half of it felt like stitched scenes. See, I didn't think it did. I felt like it all flowed pretty well. Felt like Endgame, where they had very little time to tie up a lot of knots. I mean, the main plot ended when they turned over Carly. So from that point, it is just checking in with people. So I don't see that as a problem. That's just how it's going to be. Because everybody's tied in involvement ended when Carly got captured and handed over onto the stretcher, and he gave his speech on live broadcast to that whole GRC commission group. So from that point onward, it is just going to be catching up with people as more of an epilogue. The main plot ended when he turned that over. So I thought after that moment, that's the natural way to go about it. But that's my opinion. Everybody is able to have their own. I'm not happy about Sharon. She is a Carter, and Peggy would not be happy. I agree with that. If Peggy could come back from the dead, she would beat the shit out of her. The only thing I kind of felt was rushed, but felt that it was rushed. I will say that it did feel a little rushed because I did want to spend more time with it. And I definitely wanted to see the conversation with Nakajima. I did want to see that. What's up, Gargamon? Bradley's storyline was great. Sharon might be a Skrull. Flag Masters were kind of meh. Sam and Bucky's relationship as friends was great. Overall, good. I agree. I don't agree. I don't know if I agree that she's a Skrull. I just think that if she's a Skrull, at least it feel better. It just makes me wonder where the real Sharon Carter is in that case. What's going on with her there then? But yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I know we got Secret Invasion coming up but I don't want to be jumping on the this person's a Skrull train just yet. Rip DMX, definitely. DMX was a hardcore part of my teen life. Samus Cap is amazing. Loved when he said, I'm Captain America too. I love that too, man. He just owned it. He didn't let them call him anything else or whatever. He was just like, Captain America, what's up? And just moved on. Samsung suit. Ciao, Omni. What's up, Luca? Personally cheered when the Flag Smashers exploded along with the van. Thanks, Zemo. They were a bit boring enemies. What do you think? I agree. And I think a lot of that reason comes down to a lot of their storyline being cut out. Because, like New Rockstars has pointed out a few times, that there's a lot of evidence that there was a whole storyline with the Flag Smashers that got cut out because it was too similar to our current pandemic, that they felt the need that it wouldn't be good to put it out there. So maybe there was more development on the other side. I liked how some of the characters, you can kind of tell what they're about a little bit just by the way they react to Carly. Mainly the long-haired dude who always gave her like the confused look anytime she was going over the edge. And then of course you had Nico, who was a Captain America fanboy growing up. So there was a little bit there, but I definitely would have liked more. There was the Flag Smashers as a group was very much lacking as a result of whatever happened with the story there. So I agree with that. I was more invested by like large and far in Zemo and Walker and all of that than like it just kind of like left the Flag Smashers as a villain to be taken care of. In the end, MK sucked, Mike. I'm sad. I'll say that there are some things that I really enjoyed with it. Maybe I went in with it higher expectations than I should have. I'll say that is 100% better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I personally do not feel like it's better than the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. But that is me. I've seen a lot of people that are loving it. And there's a lot of things in it to love. The way they handled Bucky talking to Najima and killing him his son was not good. I mean, I liked it. I just would have liked more of it. It's like, how do you naturally start a conversation like that? I thought the way they did it was a good, at least a good approach to getting started. I just wanted to see more of that conversation. Actually hear the conversation, see how he reacted to it, because that could have been a very emotional scene. Don't know what to think about Sharon being evil. I think she should be good, but we'll see where it goes. I thought she would be good. I still hope she's not with Hydra. I still don't think Hydra exists anymore. I don't think there really is a Hydra right now. Could be wrong, but I think we've moved beyond Hydra at this point. Skrulls can remember personal memories. Yes, they can. What's up, Ralph? What's up, Cody? Oh, can't remember personal memories. That is true. And they even get things wrong. Like, oh shit, what's his name? The guy that was pretending to be Krennic in Captain Marvel, where he got some of his backstory wrong, and that's how he got caught in a lie. They kind of screwed up U.S. Agent too. He was supposed to be Captain America, then went the wrong path, which he did, and they ruined it by giving him a rushed redemption arc. I don't think that ruined it. I like that. I made it more complex, because he's not very complex in the comics either. I mean, he is willing to do things a lot harsher that Captain America might not be able to. He's more of an anti-hero, if anything. So I liked what they did with him. I actually really enjoyed what they did and how they went about his obsession. Again, like a lot of things in the show, it did kind of feel a little rushed because we only have 6 episodes, but I still liked it as a whole in the end. Let's see. What's up? Hoping Kingpin was the power broker kind of yeah, that's not going to happen. There was talks that Ben Barnes would show up. The guy that played Ben Barnes, or was Ben Barnes actually the actor or the character? I don't remember the name anymore. It's been a long time since I've seen Punisher. Anyway, the guy that played Jigsaw was in talks at one point to play a different character in the MCU. Which again, they already got Cottonmouth playing a completely different character as he played on the Netflix shows in this. So they've already started to muddy that whole thing with the Netflix shows. I did hear the Captain America 4 news. I'm excited about that. I can't wait to check it out. I love that they're keeping it Captain America 4. Despite it being Sam, they're not starting it as something else, making it really more cemented that he is just picking up where we left off with it. And I really like that about it. Problem with Marvel TV will be expecting too much, and same for the next Marvel movies. I think that too. I think that's a good thing to call out, is a lot of expectations. Expectations right now are super high. Thank you, Sub-Zero Visuals, for the super chat. It's crazy, but they took out a plot line because it was similar to Pandemic, but didn't take out the attack on the GRC to stop a vote, which is eerily similar to the attack on the Capitol building. That is very true. That's very true. And you can even say the same thing about all of the social political themes in here as well, like with the treatment of African Americans in the country and the whole all of that. That's been very relevant the last couple of years, especially vocally so over by the public, by the media. It's been a very hot topic too, and they left that in there. So it's really weird that they chose to remove the pandemic bit of it, unless they felt, or maybe that it could be that was like the easy excuse for getting rid of it, when really it was like we're crunched for time. I don't know, but yeah, it does make sense. There's a lot of other things that I'm surprised they left in. Like you said, it's interesting. I loved his redemption arc. Talos, that's his name. Thank you, Gargamon. Please don't spoil the MK movie. Watching it tonight. Guys, please, no spoilers for Mortal Kombat. No spoilers for Mortal Kombat. We got people in here that have not seen it. I haven't seen any, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it. Arguably, the speech Sam Wilson gave in the episode is one of the best ever made on a TV show. On a TV show ever? I don't know, because I don't know a lot of the speeches. There's some pretty good Doctor Who speeches, but I gotta say, it's pretty damn up there. It was a really good one. I forgot Hydra doesn't even seem to be a thing anymore. I'm pretty sure Hydra's been completely disbanded at this point. You hear it? Needed more Zemo purple mask time. I think it was fine. I liked all the moments we got with Zemo. I really liked that he kind of got the last laugh in the end. Let's see. Saw the MK 2021 with friends. I thought it was cool, but I don't think I'd watch it again. We made up for it by seeing the new Demon Slayer film. You know, I don't watch that anime, but I did see a lot of people there for it when I went yesterday to watch that. I think that was actually where the bulk of people were actually going when I arrived, was to see that, which is pretty cool. Also, yeah, Gabriel Raven calling out, the butler did it, and I like that. I like that. That was a cool little fun thing that they did there. Thank you, Lucky, for the super chat. It would have been dope that now it would be dope that now Sam is Cap. They brought Chris Evans back as Hydra Cap in Cap 4. That would be interesting. I hope they don't go that route. I personally I didn't really like the whole Hydra Cap arc from the recent stuff, but I don't know. It would be interesting, that is for sure. I would like to see old Cap, running things and helping from the moon base. I think that would be cool, seeing him as like a high level part of a shield or sword at this point. If we see him at all. I don't think we're ever going to see him again, to be honest, for a little while. I know there's talk of Chris Evans possibly coming back for multiple cameos, but that still has not been confirmed yet. So we'll see. I don't want to speculate too hard on things we don't have confirmation on, or at least from reliable sources. Like, agent's arc, as it wasn't fully a redemption arc. He's still twitching in with some screw loose. Yeah, he was still kind of twitching there at the end too. Same long payoff situation with John Walker. I feel like we've only seen Act 1 of Walker's story. They're talking about continuing the show, and he's definitely being set up for more spin-offs and stuff like that. So his story is definitely not over, or we would have just been done with him. Or we wouldn't have this Val stuff. We wouldn't have the U.S. agent stuff in this as well. So we'll see. I think John Walker's going to have a long road ahead of him, and we'll see how they utilize him. He might even show up in Cap 4. Who knows? Sharon being the power broker, kind of weird, because before, many people there in Madripoor know Zemo, and Zemo knows a lot of them, and hinted that he knows the power broker. Uses he when he refers to the power broker. He did. I don't know if he I don't remember if he specifies knowing the power broker, who the power broker is, but maybe knowing of them. I mean, the whole area knows of the power broker, and who knows, maybe he knew the entire time and was just keeping her secret. Because he also plays his games, so maybe he knew the truth, but knows that public perception believes the power broker is a he. Who knows? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what they did with it. Lucky again, another super chat. We need World Breaker Hulk. That would be awesome. I don't know if they'll go with that though. I don't know if they will go with that in the long run. We'll see. I would love to see that. I'm really curious where they're going to go with the Hulk moving forward, because I don't think they're done with him. I know he's supposed to make an appearance in She-Hulk, but it's really, I don't know. He's really, I think out of all the characters we have left, he's probably one of the few that's really up in the air as far as what they're going to do with him in the long run. Yet he still didn't recognize Sharon when they were in the same room. True. You hear Simu Liu is getting canceled for not liking Nicki Minaj. Her fans are sending death threats to him, threatening to dox him and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a whole lot to that. I mean, he's got some tweets that were questionable, but they're also like 100 years ago. So people are just doing what they do on the internet, and they're stupid. So fuck them. People can't change. People can't grow. People can't evolve. So fuck them. Hopefully nothing comes of it, man, because it's so hypocritical of them to do that for him and not other people who have done the same thing in the past. Yo, I watched Doctor Who too. Me too. I've got a full collection of screwdrivers back here. I've got all of the revival screwdrivers back here. Thank you, Customize, for the super chat. If you could drop a dono and a sub. Oh, you don't need to do that. I appreciate that though, but this message brought to you by Mephisto. Mephisto train? Reactionista. Well, going to leave that alone. We'll get a lot more Zemo and Walker for sure in the future. I think so too. I think we will when we get more, when we dive more into like the Thunderbolts and stuff like that, because those got to be coming, man. The Thunderbolts have to be coming. I was expecting old Cap in this. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was too. I kind of was expecting that as well. Guys, thank you so much for the super chats. Love your vids, man. Sharon could be working for the Mandarin. The power broker could be a lieutenant of the 10 Rings. That would be an interesting little tie-in. It's possible. It is possible. I don't know how I feel about... sorry, I missed one. Yes, a 90-year-old man fighting Sam Wilson. That would age amazing. That'd be pretty interesting to see how they did that, because like they... I mean, they wouldn't fight him, and there is an arc in the comics where you do have old Steve Rogers who eventually retakes the serum, and it de-ages him back into a normal Captain America. I don't see them ever doing that on screen. I think if we ever get Chris Evans again, it's either going to be as old Cap, or as an alternate Cap in the multiverse. So I don't know. I don't see them adapting some of the comic book stuff, so that'd be pretty interesting. I think John has Tourette's. That's why his neck looks similar to Tourette's attacks. I think it's PTSD, and he's just also kind of on a drug kick from the serum, because that'll also do it too. but it could very well be Tourette's. You never know. They separate Hulk and Banner at some point. I could see that. That would be pretty interesting. That would definitely shake up the dynamic quite a bit. I'm quite happy that Walker is U.S. agent now, simply because now everyone can stop calling him New Captain America. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but now he has his own name. Yeah, that's one thing I really usually appreciate in comics in general is I don't always like when somebody becomes the new thing. I usually prefer when a character becomes their own thing. Like with Dick Grayson, he has been Batman before, but he has never permanently become the new Batman. He lives and exists as Nightwing, to exist outside of the shadow of anybody else and being his own character, and that's what I really like when that happens. I think there's a different argument to be made for Sam, though, in this case, because it is a mantle, and it means something for him to take it up. So I do like it in this case. I think this is one of the few exceptions to my feelings on the whole passing on the mantle thing for characters. So I think that's the one time I've kind of been okay with it. Let's see. I think we have to take into consideration that COVID really screwed a lot with these productions, so we aren't getting the most polished product. Fair enough. Also, budgetary restrictions are a huge thing for this as well, because they only have enough budget to spread it out into 6 episodes, so they've got to be very contained and smart about how they're using their money to still give us this movie quality story and presentation in such a short amount of time. And I think they've been doing a pretty good job with that so far. Maybe Sharon was using a decoy or the mask that can change her appearance to appear as a man. Good point. Good point. Maybe the guy she showed up as at the end was who she appeared as with the other people. But you're right. She did have that cloaking mask that we saw Black Widow use quite a few times. So she could very well have been making it very known anytime she went to a public meeting with anybody or went out in the open as the power broker. She could have been just using a different face. That's true. Smart. I didn't think about that. That is a very easy and obvious way to go with that. Mocker, thank you for that one. Method Man would make a great bishop if they ever brought the character in the MCU. He might be coming, depending on what all comes over with Deadpool. Am I getting mixed up again? I think I'm getting mixed up again. I'm thinking of Cable. Whoops. Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking of Cable. I always get Bishop and Cable mixed up in my head for some reason. I've always done that too, like growing up. Professor Hulk or Smart Hulk, all we need next is Hulk going into the future. Did you see that the She-Hulk set photos? Nah, I try to avoid a lot of the set photos that get released, just so if it's not officially let out, I try to just kind of ignore it. I think your story mirrored a common theme in the series, the trust and the breaking of trust between a citizen and their government. That is true. And now she's using the government for her own means. It could have still been handled a little bit better. What's up, Sizzling Sausages? I like that name. Welcome. How long is the stream going to be? I'd say maybe 2 hours or so, give or take, depending on how slow or engaging it stays. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm still debating on whether or not I'm actually going to stream the Resident Evil demo, the new one that came out today, or that will be coming out tonight. If I'm going to stream that later tonight, or just wait until it's on PC on the 2nd. Because honestly, I gotta say, like, I did stream the demo that released last weekend, and it was honestly kind of a disappointing experience playing it. So I might wait until there's the full hour is actually out before doing it. But we'll just kind of play it by ear. Might play something else later tonight, because I do need to make some headway in a few games that I've been playing. Peggy would be so disappointed in Sharon. I think so many people have said that, man, and I agree. I thought Sharon being the power broker was way too obvious. It was kind of like Agnes being Agatha. I mean, Agnes being Agatha made sense. It would make no sense for her to not be Agnes. For her to not be Agatha. Sharon being the power broker is just a weird choice. And an out of nowhere choice. I mean, I have a donation through the Streamlabs. Hope you can find and read it. Did it not come through? I didn't see anything pop up. Hold on. Let me log into Streamlabs real quick and just check. And what was it? What's the name under Aspets? Oh, I see it. Hey man, can I have a request for you? First, can you standing? Next, can you show the full design of the shirt you're wearing? You want me to stand up? I mean, I can, but yeah, this is the shirt. Ow! Just hit my desk. Yeah, I'm not. If I stand up, I'll be mostly out of camera, so shirt. And a little dance. I can literally hear your username. That is very true. And now that you've mentioned that, I also thank you for the super chat, by the way. I also hear the sound of sizzling sausage in my head. Thank you for that, Marcus. I would have liked the finale to be at least an hour and a half long, give it a bit more time. Again, it just comes down to budget restraints. I would like that. I would have liked a longer finale, but got to be a little realistic with it. So in that vein, it does kind of make things feel a little rushed. I would have liked it to have been longer, but I still really loved what they did. Cannot wait for the Wolverine show. That is still a rumor, so don't get your hopes up if that doesn't happen at all. I think we're all ignoring the important question. What happened to Walker's shield? Did he take it after the fight? Did some random person take it? We need to know what happened to it. I imagine he would have went back and taken it because it did have his Medal of Honor on it, which I assume is still important to him. So I don't know. It was still a flimsy shield. We knew it wasn't going to hold up, or at least I called that it wouldn't hold up, that it would make no sense if it did hold up. He's just using scrap from his shed or whatever. So I'm glad that it got its ass beat, though. I'm glad that it didn't magically hold up like it was made out of vibranium, though it wasn't. Where do you think Bucky will appear in next? Captain America 4, probably. I think that's our best bet. So I heard they had to cut the other credit scene because it has something to do with Zemo and the Thunderbolts. But the character Yelena from Black Widow is involved. So maybe they left it out. Because remember, Black Widow was supposed to already be out by the time the show was supposed to air. Black Widow was supposed to be out before WandaVision. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to air. Originally, the plan was Black Widow would be out, Falcon and the Winter Soldier would air, and then WandaVision would come out. WandaVision was supposed to be the last in this line, between the movies and then Loki. Loki was still going to be after WandaVision, by my understanding. And things changed, and WandaVision switched and became the next one out, the first one out of all of those. So that could have also affected WandaVision too. There could have been some some surprises in WandaVision that got cut out, all because they had to change the order of the films. Did y'all hear about Ben Barnes who played Jigsaw? supposed to be in, but because of conflicting schedules. I actually mentioned that earlier, but I from what I read, he was in talks to play a different character though. He wasn't. I didn't think from what I read in the interview, that he wasn't going to be playing Jigsaw in the MCU though, which would suck because I want all those people from the Netflix shows to be canon, man. I really do. Black Widow is supposed to come out first, so they can't show that scene before Black Widow. Exactly. I read a little bit. Fulcrum already covered that for me. Cable and Bishop, both time travelers. MCU X-Men 2 ending. Magneto is defended. He retreats to a church. Unknown figures open the doors. Magneto needs to stand in front of them. Says, "My brothers and my sisters, the world may have beaten us, but we are greater than we are. Better. We are the Brotherhood." Ending. Interesting. That's the case. I hope we will get that scene in either Black Widow or just loose after Black Widow's out. Yeah, maybe they'll release it like later as like a bonus feature or something like that later. I hope if any other way, they should at least include it in Black Widow. Were you aware that people are mixed on Steve's ending in Endgame? I was surprised that the show explored that and some consequences, Sharon being on the run, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, I know people are mixed on it. I'm not one of those people. It makes sense to me. And I really like that as an ending for his character. Personally. I want to see a Walker team up with the Thunderbolts. I mean, I think he's going to be part of the Thunderbolts. I think he might even be leading the Thunderbolts. I think that might be the plan in the long run. COVID really screwed up everything, didn't it? Yeah, it did, man. It really did. I love the story if it's true that they changed Val's stripe from white to purple so people wouldn't think she was a rogue at first glance. That makes sense. That's probably why they made that change, actually. What's up, Destro? Timothy Chalamet as Wiccan. Say a Butterfield as Speed. I don't know who Asa Butterfield is, actually. Oh, okay. I could see that. At least the Netflix not being canon in the MCU means Iron Fist never happened. Yeah. That is kind of true, but by extension, Daredevil, man. I need Daredevil. I need Charlie Cox, Daredevil, and Kingpin, man. Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. WandaVision is such a great experience. I'm glad it came out first. Thank you, Antoine. I thought it was really fun too, man. It was a really good show. It was really fun to play the guessing games, even if a lot of it didn't come true or come to fruition. It was still a really fun ride. And it did help with the pandemic, man. It helped lighten things up a little bit while things kind of get back on track. Even if it may have suffered from the pandemic in a negative kind of way I'm still glad it came out. Seems like Sharon could be part of the Thunderbolts. When she says there was weapons for everyone, felt like she meant for a greater, means gear for all the members, maybe. I mean, it's possible. She could. Her and Val have connections in the comics. Val could even be in connection with her already. It would be great to see Walker being the leader of the Dark Avengers or the West Coast Avengers, because he was the leader of both in the comics. I'm curious if they'll go that route or just have him be in the Thunderbolts. Sharon could probably fund the Thunderbolts. She probably could. But I think I think there might be definitely some connections between her and Val, and whoever's paying for it could still be in question. We'll see. We'll see where it all goes. Butler is Speed. I hear he will be Peter's lawyer. That's what a lot of people are wanting, is him to show up as Peter's lawyer in No Way Home. As much as I love that, and there are talks of a lawyer character being in it, it would make more sense with what they're doing for it to be She-Hulk. But I want it so badly to be Matt Murdock, man. I really, really do. But I'm trying not to get my hopes up. Nice, nice. See, a lot of these people, I just don't know. I don't know a lot of people you're suggesting. I don't know their faces until I look them up. I'm guessing we'll have to wait until Black Widow for them to announce Thunderbolts. Probably. Did you enjoy Steve's ending? But it doesn't make sense for that Steve to go back to live his perfect life, knowing Bucky is somewhere being tortured by Hydra. See, I've said this before. He very well could have prevented everything that when he went back, could have very well have saved Bucky. We don't know. We don't know what all he did. We don't know if he stayed out of everything. We don't know if he let his Cap do everything in that world. We don't know what all happened over there. We know Peggy was always still connected with S.H.I.E.L.D. and with all of that, and he could have even fed them information, even if he didn't want his identity known. He could have fed her information and her give that to S.H.I.E.L.D. and her just not divulge where she got that information from. They could have saved Bucky. They could have prevented so many things from happening that in that timeline. We don't know. We don't know what happened. I think he went over, he lived his perfect life. There's the other way to look at it too. If he went back in time, lived that life, and he did alter things, there's also a very strong chance he could have made things worse. Because a lot of what they had in that timeline led them to be able to defeat Thanos. If he prevented a lot of these things, a lot of these key players from happening and going down their paths and becoming the things that they become in the long run. Let's say he saved Tony Stark from ever becoming Iron Man. What if he saved Banner from ever becoming Banner? What if he saved Bucky from ever becoming the Winter Soldier, therefore preventing him from being able to participate in the war against Thanos? For all we know, him changing things and making a better world in his timeline could result in the Earth being completely unprepared for when Thanos does come for the Tesseract. And that whole world gets wiped out. Obviously, that didn't happen. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to come back. But it's pretty interesting. Like, we don't know what happened over there, but it's the ending he deserved, man. And if we weren't ever going to get Chris Evans returning again, which he was very adamant at the time when he went away that he wasn't going to be coming back. He was done. He was stepping away from the MCU for good. Just give Cap his happy ending, and I really loved it. Because he also knows what is best. Not always what is best for him. So it just depends on how it all played out, man. But I really enjoyed it. I thought he deserved it. But my understanding was different than what it was at the end of the movie than what they explained. My explanation, or what I thought happened, was he went back at the beginning of their own timeline, and he didn't live in a splintered reality. He just went back and lived in this timeline, which was what the writers said actually happened. But then the director said something that completely contradicted it. That's the butterfly effect. You think going back and fixing things and then it'll be better, and then I'm making them 50 times worse in the long run. Exactly. And I think he would be smart enough to know about that. My initial understanding was the writer's understanding was that when he went back, because he went back and he was always the man Peggy Carter refused to talk about. Because why would she refuse to talk about the guy she ended up meeting if it wasn't somebody she also had to keep secret from Chris Evans? Because a splinter only happens when something is altered from the original timeline. If he created a time loop, that theoretically shouldn't have broken anything. But then again, the writers and the director of the film both contradict each other on how the time travel element actually works. I've missed a conversation here. Have I seen the new Rockstars details? No. It came out right before we went live. We are going to do a live react here in a little bit with just a few. We'll probably do here in a couple minutes as I catch up on chat. John Walker is Dark Cap. Sharon is Dark Black Widow. Ross will be Dark Hulk. Justin Hammer will be Dark Iron Man. It's for right now Dark Avengers. Who knows what will be else. Not bad. Not bad. You're not wrong. I miss Justin Hammer, man. Where's Hammer? If he doesn't show up in Armor Wars, I will be disappointed. Maybe had a run-in with the TVA and they told Steve to stay out of things. TVA is around, so they could also get involved in this whole thing. Oddly enough, if it was such a problem for him to go back, if it caused a splinter, why they would have been involved, right? They seem to have let him play out his life the way they did, so it couldn't have changed anything too much. There's a court scene in Spider-Man No Way Home. From the leaks, sounds like Matt Murdock's entrance will be Val's. See the shoes, pants, Tom, and his face. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know how reliable any of these leaks are, man, because I've seen some stuff that just, I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about the leaks. I don't want to know about the leaks, but yeah. Let's not talk about any leaks. Personally, don't want Chris to return or Robert. They're done. They had their ending. If they keep bringing them back, we'll never want to leave. We'll never want them to leave. Exactly. They really need to hammer it down. They really need to stand strong on them being gone. Otherwise, if you keep teasing us with them, like you said, we'll just keep wanting them to come back and back and back, and we'll never get away from them. It just makes it harder and harder. Don't want to see them back again, maybe just as a cameo. Now, if it's, like I said, in the multiverse, sure. Make it a one-off thing. That'll be fine. But not as, like, this world's version of these characters, you know? They're going to have a game. Pitch, if you guys could listen, it would be nice. Pitch Daredevil game. I mean, a Daredevil game, I would imagine, would just be very similar to the Batman Arkham games. That's my pitch. It's Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, but Daredevil. Or you could even say Spider-Man. Because what I liked about Spider-Man compared to, even though it took a lot of inspiration from Arkham, was that it had a living, breathing ecosystem and world. Civilians in it. People to protect, people to help, crimes happening. The Batman games were always missing that for me. And I think that was the one element that I think would have made the Batman games a little more interesting. Justin Hammer is 100% the best part of Iron Man 2. You're not wrong. I think Hydra, Cap, and Doctor Strange. I mean, there's rumors about that, so we'll see. Wrong is either multiverse, a flashback. Other than that, don't think she'd return. Agreed. I agree with you there, Jay. Comment with similar Arkham, Sleeping Dogs, Reversal, could be parkour system like Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Billy Club. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that would be really cool. I think a Daredevil game would be really easy to do and really cool. I think Insomniac Games honestly really surprised me with how they handled Spider-Man. I think they did the best job bringing a Spider-Man game to life. And there's been so many good Spider-Man games. They took what Arkham did really well, and I think they elevated it in so many good ways that shocked me. Like the storytelling was on point. The gameplay was refined and on point. And they had this world, living, breathing New York that was just beautiful. Loved it. can't wait to see what they do with the later games, man. Rockstar could make a Mandalorian game. That would be interesting. If it was set up like Red Dead? I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know. I honestly can't think of a good way to approach a Mandalorian game. And I apologize, guys. I didn't have the Streamlabs thing up here, so the labels weren't updating. So I just fixed that for you. Sorry about that. Grand Theft Razor Crest. Oh, that's so funny. I would want to be able to physically jump into a ship, fly to planets, and catch bounties. It almost sounds like an RPG or an MMO, because honestly, the show itself is set up like an RPG. If you think about it, he goes to a town, he picks up a quest, he does the quest. Sometimes that quest requires him to have a party, sometimes it's a solo quest, sometimes you have a raid quest, like you did in the first episode of Season 2 with the Crate Dragon. There's always an item, a MacGuffin, somebody pointing you to somebody else to get something you need. The show itself is very structured like a stereotypical RPG. You could even say it's like a tabletop, like a Star Wars tabletop brought to life. Because like you can literally watch the show and point out roles, point out things that are happening. And I remember doing that with Season 1. It was really cool though. Bad Batch is only 10 days away now. It is. Man, it's going to be really hard because Bad Batch is from what I've heard, Bad Batch is actually going to overlap with Loki. And that's going to make Fridays a fucking nightmare for me. Thankfully, Invincible is done. So I won't have to worry about 3 shows on Friday to do reactions for. Some Mercenary. I actually did that in the beginning of the stream, so I will just do it again. Mortal Kombat 1995 is my number 1. Mortal Kombat 2021 is number 2, and Annihilation is number 80. I know there's only 3, but Annihilation is a masterpiece in the worst ways, but it's still so fun to watch. Spider-Man 2099 game would be cool. That would be awesome. Though personally, I'm not a fan of futuristic settings. So like cyberpunk stuff, like Batman Beyond, I know I get shit for this. I don't like it. I don't like the futuristic stuff. I like it with Star Wars because it's that world, but I don't like it. I don't really like it when it's our world, you know? I don't know. It's something weird about it. I just don't like it. Will you be covering Bad Batch? Yeah, definitely. Anything huge like Star Wars or Marvel related that's going to be on Disney Plus, we'll be covering it. You only started watching watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I wish I would have watched it sooner, given how much they referenced the MCU. I don't know. See, I'm glad I kind of tapped out because they don't count it as canon anymore. They've retconned like a bunch of things that happened in later seasons already in the MCU just in Phase 4 alone. Yeah, I tapped out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. around Season 3, I think. I don't remember if I honestly can't even remember if I finished Season 3 or if it was in the middle of Season 3. You better love Back to the Future 2. Dude, I love all of the Back to Futures, man. I do. The first one's my favorite. But I love all the Back to the Future movies. I even like Back to the Future 3. I wonder what's going on with Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know, man. I'm really curious where that storyline's going to go and what they do with it. sorry, Cody. I'm sorry about missing your Sony deal question to the Tom Holland series. I don't know. I don't think they'll go. I don't think they'll go that far. I don't think Tom Holland will get a series, personally. Keyword reference. Agent Shield is no longer part of the MCU. Yep. Certain outfits would change. That's style. Example, Man Without Fear, Muay Thai. I'm Not Daredevil, Lawyers. There you go, man. Vexton's on a roll with pitching these games, man. Got some good ideas. Get out there. Make that game. Make it happen. Dester, I tapped out on first episode. I made it farther than that, at least. Kevin Feige dismisses Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in his canon. Exactly. Anything he didn't have his hands in when it was created, he pretty much just ignores. Would you recommend watching Invincible? I might watch it after I finish playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Hells yes. I do highly recommend Invincible. Have I seen Mortal Kombat Legends and Scorpion's Revenge? I have seen Mortal Kombat Legends. It's a fantastic web series. And I did see Mortal Kombat's Revenge, or I'm sorry, Scorpion's Revenge. Really like Scorpion's Revenge. Though it also changed, I also have some nitpicks with it that I didn't like about how they changed the tournament. But I did like the movie overall. Random question, would you like to start playing games while checking chat? I mean, I do that sometimes. Like, there's some, I usually don't schedule those kinds of streams, but I do that every now and then. Usually between shows on Saturday. I try to make this Saturday time slot always happen, even if we don't have a show to talk about. So, like, for example, between WandaVision and this, we had like a Saturday or two where I just played games for a little while. I want to stream more than I do actively because there's a lot of games that I like to play on my own time, and there's a lot of games that I want to continue and actually do like a series playthrough on. So it's just hard. I regret doing as many shows as I'm doing right now, to be honest, because it's really draining, and a lot of the time when I do have an open night, I just don't feel like doing anything to just kind of relax and not have to edit a video or do anything, if that makes any sense. So I don't know. We got Black Lightning ending, Supergirl ending, so that clears up 2 spots. So we'll see. I need more time. So I think I overpromised with doing all of the DC shows. So we'll see. We'll see. Have I read the Invincible comics or source material? I have not at all, and I am so glad that everything I'm watching in the show is a surprise. So good. I'm so glad I don't know anything that people who have read it know. What's my thoughts on Apex Legends? It was really fun for me for like 3 weeks, and then I just got bored. The repetition of it, I really liked it. It was a really polished battle royale game right out of the gate. And I played a lot of it. I played a shit ton of it. I personally wish they would just have made another Titanfall, though, because I really love the Titanfall games. Will I start reading Invincible after the finale? I don't know if I will. I'm worried about spoiling stuff for later because it's not like a clear-cut adaptation. And it's not like there's a cutoff point. So I could read up to where they get. I might do that, but I'm worried about spoiling myself for future shockers. Horizon Zero Dawn's another game that I have not tried. I haven't even tried it at all yet. Did I see that they're doing a team deathmatch? I did not. If they do that, I might actually play the game, because I have more fun with that than I do with the battle royale concept, you know. If they added a team deathmatch mode, I would probably play it. Go back to playing it, rather. Titanfall, I would love it if it was third person. Don't like first person. I disagree on that front. I definitely prefer it as a first person shooter. So if we were getting Cat 4, we probably aren't getting a season 2. I think that's a fair point. Do you keep up with Titan season 3 news? I do. I've been keeping up with that because I could honestly care less if I get spoiled for anything that comes out on that show, because this might be an unpopular opinion. Fucking Titans is my least favorite DC live action show that I have ever seen. Do you think Zemo worked with Val in planning on blowing up the truck with the flag smashers? I don't think so. There's a chance though, because she seems like she's got access to the raft, so it's possible that she might have let information slip. I don't know. There's a good chance. Sugar Ray coming in, being my sugar mama on here with that super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. How are you doing? What are your weekend plans? Feel like we're getting a season 2 for Captain America and the Winter Soldier. See, if Cap 4 is going to pick up where this leaves off, I mean, Cap 4 is being developed by the showrunner of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so it would be weird to go from this to a movie and then back to a show. I don't know. It would be weird for me because I figured they should just either elevate it or come back. Give us your... And the first should be you. I mean, give us your Marvel, DC, or Star Wars game pitch. I'll pitch one. I can think of one. I'll have to come back on that because that's too much thought for me to keep up with because literally everything you said is what I would want and would want to do. You've kind of already pitched some of the ones I would have said. So it's making it harder for me to think. Literally any open world Star Wars game. One's coming. There is an open world Star Wars game coming, but we'll see if it's good. I want another Knights of the Old Republic. It's heavily rumored right now that they're working on a remake of the original or a remaster, and I can't wait for it. That's my favorite Star Wars game. Darth Revan, as I've got his lightsaber and his mask, is my favorite Star Wars character. So I'm really excited for them to expand on that. And there's supposedly a lot of talks of bringing him more into the canon, because he is at least officially canon in the Disney timeline. So I'm really really excited to see what they do with it, because every time they're like, ooh, is that a hint of Revan? Is it? I'm like, whoa, I get excited, because at least before with Lucas, it was never official that he was canon. So that's like the one positive for me that has come from Disney Star Wars, is that they have officially made Revan canon. Actually, accidentally spilt some wine on my leg. Off topic, Pepsi is releasing Pepsi Blue after 17 years. Holy shit, really? Dude, I gotta tell my buddy, dude. He was obsessed with Pepsi Blue. It was so sad when they got rid of it. When it panned in the reflection on the butler's face, I thought it was Charles Xavier. It took me a second to realize who it was, actually. Teen Titans animated show greater than Titans. Oh, by far, man. By far. I love the Teen Titans animated show. Love it. Got it on DVD, actually. Thought this finale episode was way better than WandaVision's last episode. I'd have to agree. I think WandaVision had some more hype moments, especially the reveal of her outfit and her transformation, and the Ship of Theseus moment with the visions. But I think as a whole, I think this was a stronger finale. Personally, are you more of a Marvel, MK, DC, or Star Wars guy? Personally, I'm a Marvel guy. That's a tough one, man. If we're talking comics, I'm a DC guy. I grew up DC. I prefer DC over Marvel. As far as the characters in the world, I don't know if I'm more DC than Star Wars, though. That's a tough question. Do I like DC more than Star Wars, or do I like Star Wars more than DC? I don't know, man. That's a hard one. Sugar Ray, I'm trying to buy your affection. That's my weekend plan. Hey. It's working. What's up, Sheena? Feels like it's been a while. Buy more wine. I have, I need to buy more of the good wine. The wine I actually enjoy drinking. I've still got this. This was the last of this bottle that was left. And then I've got 4 more knocking point bottles to drink since they stopped delivering to my state. So I can't have that. I had to cancel my subscription. So I won't be getting those anymore. So sadly, I still got 4 bottles of that stuff to finish. I'd love to see Revan and Malik movie or TV series. Dude, that would be so cool, man. Fuck yes. Star Wars and Marvel are basically tied first place for me. I can see that, man. I don't know. Star Wars, like, I love it to the point where, like, something that doesn't live up to what Star Wars is for me physically hurt me. I was depressed. I won't say why, but there was a thing that happened, and I'm sure a lot of you know without any other context clues, there was a thing that happened, and I almost felt like I couldn't move on with my life anymore. I didn't know, like, what is my identity now if I don't like where Star Wars is going? So I don't know. I think Star Wars has had a bigger impact on me than my love of DC and Marvel and all that stuff. So I might have to go with Star Wars. I'd be satisfied with any licensed game that can be played on mobile. I try my best not to play mobile games because most of them end up being money sinks, and I always get tricked into spending more money. If we get a second season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it'd be about Bucky becoming White Wolf, something along those lines. Maybe. Possibly. Do you see Black Widow on Disney? Will I see Black Widow on Disney Plus or theaters? I will probably try to go see it on a theater screen. Since our theaters are open, that will probably be what I'm going to do. I mean, I saw Godzilla and Mortal Kombat at the theater, and so far it's been fine. The experience, it's always my preferred way to watch things. I'm gonna be honest, completely forgot about Zemo's butler, so I didn't realize this was him. Me too. It didn't click until just a little bit after that. Ubisoft will probably make Anakin, Obi, Darth Revan outfits, cost their money, currency, and it'll be called Force Credits. See. Buy a mansion with these donos. A Lego mansion. I could. The Blackberry one? Yes, the Blackberry one. I really want more of that. WandaVision finale being crappy for everyone was their own fault. People got their expectations too high, and I was taking exams during it, so I didn't watch it week to week. I binged it after and loved it. I didn't think it was crappy, personally, even with all the theorizing, because we were still having our live streams every week. We were still watching new rock stars every week, and we were speculating about what all these things mean, and I mean, I was one of the few that I think it's fun to speculate and have theories, but I'm not hurt when they don't happen. The only thing that didn't pan out that I was annoyed with was the Evan Peters thing. That was the only thing that annoyed me. But overall, I really loved it. I was not disappointed with the show as a whole. There needs to be a name for this kind of live stream where you drink wine and review movies. I'm gonna have to think of one. It's just become like a thing that I like to do on this because it just helps me loosen up a little bit. Woo! I don't know. It's also sophisticated. Wish you could put gifts in the chat. That would go south so fast if you could do gifts in the chat and whatnot. I need ideas for 2 new channel emojis for members because of the members we have now, I actually got the ability to add 2 more custom emojis, and I'm not sure what to make them. Can you do drunk recaps of movies with a friend? Oh, maybe. That's possible, but none of my friends ever have time to do anything, and most of them don't drink anymore. Sadly. Funny thing, yeah, I could have you come on. You had an entertaining perspective on Mortal Kombat compared to me. At least the first one. The first viewing. Drunk recaps with Omni. When's the merch drops? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about doing straight up merch yet. I don't know about that. I'm always like iffy about merch stuff. I don't even know what I would put on like a shirt. No, with a sober friend. So me be drunk, the friend be sober. Could happen. Market some wine. Knocking point. If you deliver to my state again, it'll happen. I think you missed my comment. Can you repost it, Ventington? Or Vexington? Sorry. I like your mustache. Well, thank you. I wish I could have at least like a beard, though. I'm still such a patchy baby, man. I'm in my 30s, and I still can't grow a full, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Beard? Man, I don't want to say beard because it's already kind of like this area specifically. Can't, it's so patchy, man. Did a drinking game with Shrek 2 one night. Oh my god, I was so fucking drunk. And it was not good. That was so funny, though. The thing with me, though, is once I get to that point, I want to keep going. And it's not, it's not good. Because, like, I can kind of, like, moderate myself and stay chill if I'm just, like, sipping some wine or whatever. But, like, if I get to the point where I'm actually really, like, whoopsie, I will want to continue the train, man. I didn't even have my first drink. Okay, I've tasted drinks throughout my life, but I didn't get my first, like, buzz until I was, like, 28. Because I was so terrified of alcohol. I'll be honest, I was so scared of alcohol growing up. Premium hand-knitted beanies. I'm not going to hand knit. God, why do I want to keep saying bennies? Hand knit beanies. Dude, if you got a hand knit beanie for me, it would be the most disgusting thing you would ever look at in your life. It would be this deformed little hand towel, if anything. But some beanies, man. Some beanies would be a good place to start. Beanie Squad. You saying you're in your 30s, and I'm sitting here thinking you're a similar age of me, 23. Yeah, man. That's why I always win at those carnivals. If I want to win an easy prize, no doubt I have 0 losses against these fuckers. Is when you go in, you have like those people with like the big old weight or whatever, and they're like, I'll guess your age, and if I'm wrong, you get a prize. Woo! I have won every time. Secret though is if I shave and then go in, it just increases my chances. How about each dono you drink all the wine and refill it? That's a little much. Now, I did consider an idea of maybe like a stream one night of just like donos for shots. But that could go down a dark path, man. I'm wanting to become a director, and my main goal is to direct a Marvel or DC movie. You could always start off with a fan film, man. Do that. If I had more free time, I personally would like to make like a film. Like I did some short films, and they were shitty. They were so bad for college because I have my bachelor's in art, and I took a film class, and we had to do some short films, and it was just like not very good, but it was still a really fun process. And honestly, doing YouTube, which is something I did well after I had graduated, I got way more comfortable and way more familiar with editing. I mean, I still do basic jump cuts most of the time, but I'm a lot more familiar with the process. So I've been feeling like I want to do something like that, but I just don't have the time. I wish I did though. Oh, it'd be so fun. Let's see. Where are we at? What time is it? We're an hour and 17 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, and we will come back and we will do a live reaction to the new Rockstars video. How's that sound, gang? All right, so I will be right back. So hang in there. We is back. What do we got off? Anything that I missed here? If we ever got a second season of the show, I hope we explore more of Sharon and her murky ways. I'm sure we'll see it eventually. I don't know if it'll be in this Cap 4, whatever this Thunderbolts thing is. We'll see. Who are these sources? All right, guys. Let's go ahead and we're gonna pull up new rock stars and check it out. I already had it up and ready to go. Let's switch to the game stream. Primary monitor. All right, guys, you ready? We're going to be jumping into our live reaction. If you're not on the live streams, come join us. We're having some wine, just chilling, hanging out, and we decided to react to, this time, Falcon the Winter Soldier, episode 6, breakdown from New Rockstars. Let's do it, man. Fine. Finale, man. Shows another Marvel show down. It's so crazy. These shows have been going by so quickly. All right, let's go. And I can't hear it. Can you all hear it? I can't hear it. I can't hear it. Ah! All right, so you got no sound either. All right, I'm dumb.
New Rockstars, I'm
and no, I still got nothing.
Down of the Falcon, the
Can you all hear it now?
6, the finale, One World, One.
Why can't I hear it? You can, I can't still. It is plugged in. Oh. Duh. I gotta switch the head plug into... I got this Stream Deck thing, so... Or not Stream Deck, I got this Go XLR, and I have to always change my inputs, so it comes in through this. So, there we go. Alright, round 2.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 6, the finale, One World, One People, in which Captain America Sam Wilson dresses up in home team whites, U.S. Agent John Walker is back in black, and Sharon Carter did to my theories what she did to that Flag Smasher's face. Look, folks, my favorite part of this has always been to just go back through the episodes and point out all the interesting details that you might have missed. And this finale is filled with little stuff that you can gnaw on, like Sarah's tiny potato slices or Zemo's gross Turkish delights. Okay, we open on the Flag Smasher.
I'm not a fan of Turkish delights, I'll be honest.
Harley's voiceover here is actually the same line that she spoke in Latvia last episode.
They're not going to stop. Not unless we make them. It's time.
Now, Erin Kellyman was more emotional then. Now they use an alternate take where she sounded more resolute and firm. Then a little moment with Bucky that I love. Sergeant Barnes. Nice. This officer respects Bucky's service and his rank.
I like that too.
Some people in this world really do learn from the history in Cap's Smithsonian exhibit, making it an even bigger deal when Isaiah's history will later become restored. Sharon Carter uses the same mesh face mask that Natasha used in Winter Soldier. It also appeared in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, while you could see Sharon's suspicious behavior in the post-credit scene as a setup for Secret Invasion, this mask to me signals that she herself is probably not going to be a Skrull, because then she wouldn't really need that kind of cloaking tech, right? But then again, apparently no one cares about Sharon's past history, so whatever. But notice how the Flag Smashers use these smoke grenades that glow green, and then Sharon talks about her deadly mercury vapor. She says, among other things that she uses on that Flag Smasher, that emits a green smoke. And then those locks that they use on the truck doors have 8 claws, and they're strong. They take several strikes of Bucky's vibranium arm to break. Remember, Batroc supplied this gear courtesy of Sharon after she hired him. And Sharon called someone on the phone in the post-credit scene.
Norman Osborn.
The menu, but we're about to have full access to government secrets, prototype weapons, you name it.
I'm thinking one of Sharon's trading partners and the source of this tech could be Oscorp. Normally,
I knew where he was going with it already.
Villains like Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, and my MCU theories, since all of those are Sony properties, and Marvel can really only do so much with them in non-Spider-Man titles. But Sony did just sign a deal with Disney Plus that makes that kind of future IP sharing a bit more likely. And by something for everyone, Sharon might mean a team of weapons tech manufacturers known for green glowing grenades.
Don't
by Green
get
Goblin,
your
and
hopes up,
armed reinforced metal
guys.
gear that you could see someone like Doc Ock putting together. And this comes within a week of Alfred Molina talking about his role as Doc Ock in Spider-Man No Way Home. But before I continue, thank you to Vessi Shoes for sponsoring this video.
I got some Vessi shoes thanks to these, so you already made some money from me, bud. That ain't, you ain't getting more.
Sam Wilson
All right, here we go.
with his new suit.
I love this suit, by the way.
Now the music here evokes the Steve Rogers cap theme, but it is a variant
What's up, Ryan?
that's unique to Sam. This suit's largely white design reflects Sam's look in the comics when he becomes Cap, including the half cowl. That shield magnetically latches to his back like
You know,
with Steve. And Sam being in white here creates an interesting contrast with US Agent
his
John
his
Walker.
outfit reminds me of Kid Flash too. Like, why is it?
But black.
Sam as
And
a black
I don't
man
know,
in a world
interesting. The
historically
whole like
seen as a
hair
white man.
thing open.
Walker
Anyway,
is a white man now donning the archetypal black hat. But Sam does not
Love it.
leave us guessing.
I'm sorry, wait, who are you? Captain America. I
yes.
thought Captain America was on the moon.
Yeah, the guy calls back Torres' conspiracy theory that Steve Rogers was on the moon. This series never gave us an answer as to what happened with old Cap from Endgame, kind of treated the mystery as more of a joke, because I guess these Disney Plus shows can only do so much MCU world building. But for now, I'm just gonna go with Cap is in space with Nick Fury. So as the GRC diplomats are evacuated, listen to this voice blaring over the PA system.
Groups 1 and 2 will leave from secure vehicles in the basement. Group 3 will leave via air support on the roof.
Maybe don't announce this while terrorists have infiltrated the freaking building. Like, imagine
Right?
if that happened at the Capitol. Actually, maybe don't mentally compare what the Flag Smashers are doing to January 6th. Just don't. A Flag Smasher hands Bucky a phone with Carly calling via that Flag Smashers app, the app that Bucky will later use to trap the Flag Smashers. They must have thought a 106-year-old man couldn't work the app. They thought wrong. Carly asks Bucky,
I'm fighting for something bigger than myself. Have you ever been able to say the same?
You don't think I ever fought for something bigger than myself? That's all I ever tried to do. And I failed twice.
yeah, Bucky fought freaking Thanos, you dummy. Losses, they refer to his losses in Infinity War and in World War II. You could argue, though I don't really know if it's fair to say he lost that. Really, every fight this dude fights has been over something bigger than himself. Sam subdues Batroc by kick-flipping the shield and then tossing it out the window first to break it before swooping back out to catch it. This is also kind of how he had to enter the building, by smashing the window.
I loved that entrance exit.
Had just given him a vibranium head covering instead of leaving his scalp weirdly exposed. He wouldn't have to worry about smashing through the glass himself. He's made of vibranium at that point. Sam uses Red Wing to scan the GRC hostages, and on the screen you can see her name, Ayla Perez. She has a background in the Philippine Air Force with experience flying both Apache and Chinook helicopters. Chinook helicopters are twin rotors that tell Sam that Perez has experience with multiple types of helicopters and that he can trust her to climb into that seat and pull it out of a dive, even though that would probably be very difficult for anyone other than Tom Cruise to do. Sam saves the NYPD pilots, shielding one with his wings and the cap shield on top.
I love it.
Designed this to be a perfect interlocking vibranium seal. John Walker shows up with his cosplay shield, his Medal of Honor welded on the inside. Yeah, notice how this shield has a lighter, more tinny sound than the deeper, mystical hum of the vibranium.
John.
As Bucky falls into the construction pit, he screams, echoing his scream as he fell from the train in the first Cap film, the scream that inspired his Winter Soldier wail, which we have not heard on this show since his Wakandan campfire going clear moment. And since he is no longer haunted, Bucky now sticks. Shirt is still
Visual
available,
storytelling
along
right
with our
there.
amazing new Zemo design. Though
This
we
isn't
are
it, right?
running low
Okay.
on supply
Usually they don't do
for
their
those, so you have
merch
to be
pitch
fast.
till
You can
later.
Support us this way at newrockstarsmerch.com. So Harley tries to murder hostages.
I'll catch up on
Walker
chat
at
here in a
this
second.
crossroads.
Once it's over.
Yeah, notice composer Henry Jackman brings back his theme from Civil War here to underline Walker's come-to-Jesus moment, choosing to save the hostages instead of seeking revenge on Carly. Though I should say after what he did in episodes 4 and 5 for John Walker, it's not really come to Jesus as it is Jesus actually pulling away his mesh face mask to reveal it's Mephisto underneath. It's going to hell. But Walker's choice is emphasized by what he does let drop his cosplay shield. It's beaten and limp. But when the truck goes loose again, it's the true shield that lifts it, framing the shield like a rising sun, saving these lives. An inverse of the way John Walker framed it, eclipsing Nico and ending his life. Sam uses his drones for a boost similar to Iron Man's drones in Spider-Man.
Yeah, since he
Homecoming.
doesn't have
Really,
super strength.
With this suit, Sam is truly a fusion of Captain America and Iron Man with the vibranium tech of Black Panther. An onlooker watches this calling him Black Falcon, like the kid in Baltimore in episode 2. Bucky catches a rebarb spear. I love how this dude catches pretty much everything hurled at him on this show. Walker with the shield on the truck, the knife in episode 4, the shield again in the fight last episode. Get this man a goalie mask. And then Sharon is revealed to be the power broker, a twist that seems both overly obvious but also pretty inconsistent with the character's past behavior and timeline. We go all into it in Inside Marvel, but hey, the good news is, according to this, Sharon Carter is now apparently the MCU's most brilliant mastermind who also makes things weirdly hard for herself. And if that's the Sharon you love, cool. Now, you could argue Sharon never explicitly declares herself the power broker.
Without our super soldiers, how much power does a power broker really have?
More than you.
So you're the power broker.
But Sharon kills Batroc only because he threatens to expose her as the power broker to the world. As a woman behind the curtain, she needs anonymity. And if she wasn't the power broker here, she wouldn't care what Batroc told people. So Sam shows up to fight Carly, anchoring his wings in the concrete, similar
Love
to
it.
Spider-Man planting his extra arms while fighting Thanos. But Sam avoids fighting her. He does these flips and somersaults, the same ones
He's
that we
so
saw him
creative
training
with
last
how he
episode.
makes
So I love
up
looking
for
back
his
on
lack
that
of
training as
superhero
really
or super soldier
defensive,
serum
conflict-avoiding
with just
training. Carly
ingenuity.
says,
Stay down!
No.
yeah, similar to Iron
Cap.
Man saying this to the previous Cap in Civil War.
Stay down. Final warning.
Yeah, shame that Sam here doesn't say, I can do this all day. But I guess that's Steve's line. Walker quotes Abraham Lincoln.
Mercy bears richer fruit than strict justice.
Yeah, the president who oversaw the U.S. Civil War, another sign that Walker is learning the lessons that these Avengers had to learn the hard way in their Civil War. So Carly dies in Sam's arms, holding the Hamsa pendant that she held at Mama Danya's deathbed. And as Sam carries her body, his outstretched wings evoke that of an angel delivering a soul to the afterlife. Or really, down to Mephisto, because she's going to hell. I love how the reporters don't know what to make of Sam.
What do we call you? Is it so Falcon? Is it Captain Falcon?
Captain Falcon.
Sam's big move in Super Smash would
Falcon punch. Falcon kick. Falcon shield.
So Sam lectures the
Sorry.
GRC leaders to change course, telling them that they gotta do better. And if I can do better and you can do better, maybe we all can do better. Hey, pretty great. Really, even deeper than Sam's great points are the fact that we are seeing a Black Captain America publicly speaking truth to power. It is
Yes.
a core component to Cap's character that we saw when Steve debated Nick Fury in Captain America Winter Soldier, or stood up to Tony Stark in Civil War. And Bucky acknowledges this evolution.
Nice job, Cap.
Calls him Cap.
Bucky pats the shield. He is both complimenting Sam by calling him Cap and patting the shield as a way of saying, nice job, Steve, for choosing this guy. And the last time we see Sam in this suit on this series, he soars across the frame with the shield briefly in close-up, gliding past us. Meanwhile, the rest of the Flag Smashers go, boom, you ready for this? Detonated by Osnick, Zemo's butler from episode 3. And this news gets to Zemo on the raft prison from Civil War. He's wearing the same jumpsuits that they all wore then. On his shelf are a few books, Russian poet Alexander Pushkin, and Views of Nature by Alexander von Humboldt. I guess this is the Alexander shelf. Meanwhile, the book Zemo reads looks like the one he had in his cell in episode 3, Fortune is a River, which explores the friendship between Machiavelli and Leonardo da Vinci in Renaissance-era Florence, Italy. Now, I previously speculated that this book meant that the Machiavellian, Zemo, had a secret partnership with some Da Vinci figure in the shadows. Someone like...
Val.
Our friend Zemo kind of got the last laugh.
Yes, Zemo's Da Vinci was De Fontaine. Since Osnick likely could not have arranged that bombing himself, it is clear Val must have helped.
Couldn't have worked better if I'd planned it myself. Well, maybe I did.
Hmm.
No, I'm kidding. I didn't. Or did I?
So the fact that Val has been in touch with Zemo, who's on the raft, a facility overseen by Thunderbolt Ross, tells us that our theory that Val could be assembling a team of anti-heroes like the Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers may still be happening. And by saying the Flag Smasher's deaths is gonna save a lot of paperwork, redacting, and shredding, tells us that she must be part of some shadowy government division as opposed to working for Hydra or something.
Right.
But Val has suited up John Walker as U.S. Agent, the dark-suited assassin. from the
I
comics
still
that we
think
expect with him
Hydra
to lead
is
up as.
gone.
Interesting to note, U.S. Agent also leads the Dark Avengers later in the comics. And Val ends by saying,
Things are about to get weird. So when they do, we're not gonna need a Captain America.
And guys, if you were here last stream,
A US agent.
this is exactly how I said this was going to happen.
well, one way to look at weird is that Val knows about the Skrull infiltration and that the secret invasion is coming, and in a world where no one trusts anyone, having an untrustworthy Dark Cap is more valuable. But Val also said last episode that the government's ownership of the shield is a legal gray area, making me wonder if she knows about old Cap and how he brought that shield from an alternate timeline, making it technically the property of an alternate timeline government. So maybe the weirdness she's referring to is the coming multiverse crisis, something that we could see more of with Loki in the TVA. Meanwhile, Bucky makes true amends with Mr. Nakajima and officially crosses Mr. Nakajima's name off the list, a list whose names that we have broken down in previous breakdowns, and he leaves that notebook as a gift for Dr. Rayner, leaving the frame with an empty couch and empty woods. Bucky is now out of the woods. Sam visits Isaiah Bradley again.
Oh,
Captain America, huh?
this scene, man.
Damn right.
And right as Sam says this, behind him, Eli Bradley enters the frame. Eli is the future Young Avenger Patriot, another Black Cap figure, but for now, he's still waiting his turn in line behind Sam. Meanwhile, behind Isaiah during the scene is interesting graffiti, the words, "Why me?" reflecting how both of these men had the burden of Captain America's legacy thrust upon them. Now, Isaiah brings up Martin, Malcolm, and Mandela, of course referring to civil rights leaders Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Nelson Mandela. But my favorite thing about this is this Atlanta neighborhood where they shot this scene is home to where Martin Luther King was born. The famous MLK house is visible at the end of the street in episodes 2 and 5. So Sam brings Isaiah to his new addition to Cap's Smithsonian exhibit, including this plaque that details the history that Isaiah told him about. Along with this old photograph, this shows Black World War II soldiers that actually inspired a panel in Truth, Red, White, and Black. I love how this bookends the shot that we saw back in episode 1, Sam's reflection as he stared at that shield in the display case. It was actually him realizing people who look like him have been erased from this history, as Sam's translucent form in that scene suggested. But now, Sam has transformed this from an optical illusion to a tangible reality with this statue of Isaiah Bradley. And we celebrate with a family cookout, a reminder that fixing the Wilson family boat has always been a personal metaphor for Sam for restoring the legacy of the shield, which he has done. As Curtis Harding's On and On plays, the final credit revises the series title to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Then we get to this post-credit scene with Sharon receiving a full pardon to return to her old rank as Agent 13.
The Carter name has always been synonymous with service and trust. Welcome home, Agent Carter.
Two references there to Peggy Carter, Sharon's great aunt, who will show up in What If, and hopefully a future film with Steve Rogers in that alternate timeline. It was actually announced that a fourth Captain America film is in development from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier showrunner Malcolm Spellman, but that's probably going to follow Sam Wilson, not the Chris Evans Steve Rogers Cap films, and may or may not be in development. And we end on another power broker tease from Sharon Carter talking to someone on the phone, maybe one of her Madripoor operatives or some other criminal group from the Marvel world. Hydra, 10 Rings, Hammer, AIM, Oscorp. Whoever this is, it's most likely setting up Sharon to return in the series Armor Wars, which Rhodey is going to star in this miniseries about the weapons.
Hey, that's what you guys said.
Wrong hands. But my favorite detail about Sharon's final moments, as she exits the courtroom, the camera suddenly slows down and she looks directly at camera. It is as if she knows how much her power broker reveal broke us. But I gotta hand it to you, Agent Carter. I had my doubts, but it was you all along. Hey, I want to thank everyone so much for supporting us throughout this breakdown series.
All right.
You can follow me.
Dude, so many great little catches, great little moments in that, man. Such a strong episode, emotional episode. I think it hit all the right beats. The only thing, like I said, that's weird and off is Sharon and her motivations, you know, because he pointed out too, like, you know, by helping Bucky and Sam, she was really shooting herself in the foot. Like it's her own fault that the super soldier serum got lost. And the guy that could make it got killed. and she was killing her own men? It's so weird. It's so strange. But if she was using that masking tech, like some of you guys suggested, like maybe the people working for the power broker never knew the power broker as Sharon, so that she had her identity kept secret from the people she was home to and friends with, and had it secret from the people she was working with. However, she was on the phone speaking as herself to whoever that is, and unless there's some kind of thing happening on her phone, it's not masking her voice. So we might have some mixed receptions on some of that things going on there. I mean, everything else is like good. There's a lot of speculation in here. The whole Oscorp thing, it was kind of easy to tell where he was going with that. I did think of the pumpkin bombs when those things first opened because of the green glow and the way they looked. So I wonder if that is a nod, or if that's just another stretch that Eric likes to go on. We'll just have to see. We'll see how it all evolves. I mean, we got Cap 4 coming. We got these setups for all these other potential spinoffs. It's just going to be really interesting to see how and where Phase 4 grows and where things lead. The Sony deal does open the door for some potential partnership in some ways we haven't seen before. So there's a possibility there, but Sony's also been very back and forth. So, guys, lesson of the day, lesson of WandaVision, and always going forward, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your expectations up. Have fun with it, love it, but don't sell your soul to any given idea, because who knows what's going to happen. Destro's got it right there. I just don't want anybody... I just don't want another situation like that, because so many people's experience with those shows were predicated. Their final feelings were all predicated on what didn't happen as opposed to what did happen. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. But yeah, that was our live reaction to this. And to everybody who's watching right now, we're going to be continuing after this. This is just me selling out because I will be clipping this and adding it to the channel later. But thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, shout out as always to our big legends, Mandy Sherritt, Antoine Rodriguez, Ryan Karen, everybody else. Sound off in the comments your favorite moments, favorite Easter eggs, anything they may have missed down in the comments below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. I'll catch you guys in the live streams when you actually show up, or the next video. Take care, everybody. And guys, we're still here. That just makes it so much easier for me to cut this out whenever I do this later. All right, so there was a lot of talking going on while I was doing that. What did I miss? All right, there was me testing all the audio there. I thought this was turning into a Raycon ad. We could only hope. Oh yeah, I did see that out of the glance that when we started it, Antoine. I was thinking about moving a Patreon membership to YouTube instead. See, there's some perks to that. Like the badges. Like if you're a YouTube member, you get the badges. Like you can see it on Sheena's account, on Ryan. The badges that show like your level of like how long you've been here. You also get channel exclusive emotes. I don't remember which one I just sent, which I can add more. Like there's some things that come with that work, but yeah, like is also mentioned, YouTube just takes a bigger cut than Patreon. And it's a little bit harder to share some of the benefits, like the reaction watch-alongs. Have it through like a shared Google Doc is how you access it on YouTube. Whereas Patreon, you can just actually scroll through and actually see the videos embedded. So there are some pros and cons to each. The Patreon, of course, I get a bigger share of what you actually contribute. YouTube takes more of a percentage than you do for the Patreon stuff, but I set the prices the same. So regardless if I'm making less or whatever, I want it to be the most convenient for you all without having to pay more to compensate. So I hope that helps. All right, so question from Ryan is it just me, but when Cap says to Bucky, I called in backup, then Sharon shows up. To me, it sounds like Cap was shocked, surprised to hear her voice. I don't know. I think, yeah, he was surprised that she sees Sharon stateside, where she's not really allowed. So I think that's why he was shocked. But I think it makes sense for Sharon to show up to help, because if this works, she gets her pardon. But it is also a huge risk for Sharon as well being there, given her position and protecting her position as the power broker or whatever. But yeah, I do think she was the backup. I think that it makes sense to me. I just don't think that Bucky was expecting Sharon to come stateside and risk being arrested for them and all that. So that's why I thought there was some shock in Bucky's voices when all that whole thing happened. What am I, some sort of U.S. agent? What am I, some kind of Iron Man? It's so annoying when you watch a show back when superhero movies were so afraid to call their heroes the Thing. It's like, what are you, some kind of Superman? Like, they just don't want to call him Superman. They just say the Thing, and then eventually it laxes up. So I did. He's like, we might need a U.S. agent, and I was like, I knew that was exactly how it was going to play out, man. Is Carly actually dead? I believe so. I believe so, man. I do. I think she's dead. Maybe the scientist that was the only one that could make the serum was a misdirect. That is also a possibility. But they kind of hinted that it wasn't. So I don't know. Because even in the post-credit scene, she's like, the super soldier serum may be off the table, but now we have all this tech. So she's even acknowledging to her partners and her buyers that the serum's gone. The Mephisto is J. Jonah Jameson. Will I react to Shadow and Bone? Probably not. Thanks, Jack Attack. Thank you for hanging out. What's up, Lala? Welcome, Mandy. You made it. Pink gin. Posted a question and don't know if it got posted because of network issues. I would love a Disney Plus series based on the live action or the live version of Agents of Smash and keep the Hulk character going. I'm not familiar with Agents of Smash. I don't know what that is. Could be interesting though. Check out Patreon, guys. Definitely worth it. I hope it is, guys. I mean, I got the full watch alongs on there. I don't post as much behind the scenes as I would like. But yeah, man, I really think it's fun. Thank you guys so much. I love all you guys who support, and everybody. I mean, if you can't, it's 100% supporting the channel just by being here, because it's engagement. Any kind of engagement, whether it's a comment, a like, or just a view, helps the channel, man. And I love you guys. It's not all tied to money, but I do appreciate everybody who loves the channel enough to support me in that way. It's just so humbling. You make me jealous. Your reactions be so early, and it makes me mad. Why does it make you mad? Why are you jealous? I mean, I just wake up early and watch it when it comes out. I wish I could get it before that. I'm not that lucky of a YouTuber to actually get early access to any of this stuff, though. I'm Bucky, but in Sam's voice. Now, after the first 2 shows, I don't know what to expect of Loki. I really don't either. I'm really curious because there's always been a very deep, serious theme to these shows. I mean, it's 2 for 2 right now. With Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, that there's a deeper theme to it. I'm wondering if Loki's going to be the odd one out and just be a fun show, or if it's also going to hit us right in the feels like crazy. Because I'm not expecting it to, and I'm not sure how it's going to, but I think this, after Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm definitely expecting it to potentially have just some kind of deeper theme to it. Even though it looks like this time-traveling Doctor Who kind of shtick, I'm expecting it to have something that's just going to gut punch us with feelings. The finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier was a little disappointing. 100% disagree, Daniel. Disagree. I loved it. I liked it more than WandaVision. You post your reactions so early that I have to ignore it until afternoon. Yeah, man. Being a smaller channel, I just got to get in there. I don't have. I don't have the luxury that like larger channels like Blind Wave and Real Rejects do, like where they can post theirs like days after, but they've got so much of a following that it doesn't matter. They've already kind of trained their audience to do that. But the fact we're a small channel and we got to fight for those views, and I don't want to be spoiled when I wake up, because I also don't want to wake up to a YouTube post or a thumbnail that's got a spoiler in it. Because a lot of the people I follow also don't have, not to call anyone out specifically, but they will pick the most grabbing thumbnail, whether it's a spoiler or not, for their videos. And I try my best to never do that. If you've noticed, like I chose the thumbnail for this one, for the finale of this, it's just Shield. It's just the Shield. That doesn't tell you jack shit about the episode. But I woke up like late, like even before my channel, my video was up, somebody already had a thumbnail with Sam in his new outfit and the wings and everything and the shield. And I was like, come on, guys. See, people, that's how you unintentionally spoil stuff for other people. And I try so much, even though I know it's not going to help the video, I don't want to spoil things for you guys. I don't want anybody to accidentally stumble on my thumbnail and get upset. Even though I've had one person comment on a bunch of my Cobra Kai videos about this shit, about my thumbnails being spoilers, and I swear none of mine have ever been that. We're a small channel now. In about a year, story may be different. Keep it up, bro. Thank you. We'll see, man. Keep on chucking on. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon because I love this. It's just so much fun. Talking with you guys, sharing these ideas. It was like a lot of fun, and it just makes it worth it. I love that you don't put spoilers in your thumbnails. Thank you for that. You're welcome. And like I said, like I know it could make the video. It's more attention grabbing. It gets people to click on stuff, but it's just. I just think it's shady. Not to call out anybody that does it, because we all know the people that do. And it's just, I respect the grind, but I'm not going to participate. Thank you, Rowan, so much.
Streamer.
For the super chat. What am I drinking? I'm drinking some Knocking Point wine. I'm honestly not sure which bottle it was. I just opened one because I'm trying to get through it all. They stopped delivering to my state, so I can't get more, so I've just got to finish up what I've got. But Knocking Point Wine is owned by Stephen Amell, Oliver Queen, Green Arrow fame. I know exactly what channel you're talking about. It's not just one, man. There's so many. There's so many that get this shit out and just put the biggest spoiler of the episode as the thumbnail, and it's so shitty. But then again, to be fair, I'm one of the first people to get things out. So I feel like there's also a bigger responsibility on me in a way, because like you guys know, like if I refresh the timeline, because I follow most of the reaction channels, at least the big ones, and I get mine out before most of them. I'm usually, if not one, like the first person to have a reaction out or the second. And maybe there's a little bit more of a laxation, like, because I don't blame like Real Rejects or anything like that, because they, like I said, they post theirs a couple days after the fact. They don't post it the day after. So sure, why not? If some time has passed, post it on there. Fuck it. but I'm like the first one on there. I don't want somebody to wake up who hasn't watched the show yet, who doesn't have the time or the availability to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch the show and wake up and get spoiled. Because who wants to do that? I want to go in and I want everybody to watches the channel. Yeah. And my reaction, the face I use is almost never to what's actually on the screen. So Bad Batch in a week. I am so excited, man. You just need to put your face like, yep. And that's it. So excited for the Flashpoint movie. Started production. It did. It is officially started production. Now it still has to finish production. It's got to come through for it. So, I think there was a thing from Daniel I missed too. I did like, give the black suit. Rumors were that we'd see Chris Evans in it. Yeah, it's just a rumor though. That's why you don't get tied in the rumors, because just never, until it's confirmed from an official source, don't believe a damn thing. It was never hinted we would see Chris Evans, so don't set yourself. You're just going to set yourself up for failure when you do that. I wish there was a way to tell everyone in the world this. Ready? Don't go on social media until you watch the show. It's that simple, right? Yeah, exactly. Your facial expressions look like where you're making fun of people who make facial expressions. I don't know, man. Like, if you watch my reactions, sometimes I legitimately make those facial reactions sometimes. That's just my dumbass face. So I apologize for that. But yeah, it's fun. Is the wine good? It's good after a couple of sips. The initial sip is not that great. We didn't need it though. What was it? I wish there was a way to tell everybody where this we watch the shows. We didn't need it though. We didn't know what. I'm confused now. Evans would have detracted from the show. I think so too. I do think so. Iron Fist mod for Sleeping Dogs. I've never played Sleeping Dogs. No, production is preparing to film. Filming is a separate part of the production process. Production is where they start getting up funds, setting up locations, setting up costumes, setting up what they want to do for shots. Production is usually the step right before filming. Anticipation, expectation, performance minus performance equal disappointing. I'd love to see a collab between you, New Rockstars, Real Rejects, and Struggle Nation on Marvel content. I would love to be on New Rockstars. I've watched a few Struggle Nation videos. I don't watch them regularly. I see them most of the time when they collab with Real Rejects. I've been on Real Rejects before, but I don't think very many people actually watched that video that I was in. Loki doesn't come out till 1 month. June 11th. Yeah, we got Bad Batch in the meantime. Hungry and I don't have any food in my dorm. Oh, dude, I remember, man. You saw my Real Reject shout out. I mean, I was on one of their episodes. It's been about a year and a half, a year or so. It's been a little over a year since I've actually appeared in one of their podcasts. I was actually in a podcast episode with them. But yeah, you probably see my shout outs every now and then too. Because I love those guys and I want to keep supporting them too. So what are your thoughts, Omni, about Batman and what Earths do you think we'll see in Flashpoint? Well, we'll definitely see Earth 89, the Batman Earth, because we got Michael Keaton confirmed. We got whatever Earth the Snyderverse is in. I imagine we'll see Earth Prime to reference the Arrowverse. But I don't know. I'm sure we're gonna see more than one. But I couldn't tell you how many or which ones we're gonna see though. You want to play that Sifu game? It looks cool though. I don't know. Isn't it only on PlayStation 5? I saw it. I want to play it, but I don't know if I can. See, that's where you said though, we've already got an established verse though, because Earth 2 has already been established as the Stargirl Earth, because Ezra Miller was on The Flash. The Flash is already designated Earths. So unless the movies disregard and ignore it, even though the Arrowverse is canon with the Snyderverse, they're going to have to change their names or their naming convention. Because I know they did say Batman was on Earth 2, but does that mean Robert Pattinson's Batman's on the same Earth as Stargirl? Because Batman 89 was also on the Arrowverse as Earth 89, and that's going to be in the movie. Ezra Miller was on Flash, the TV show, on Crisis on Infinite Earths, from a separate, as his own cameo. So it's all tied together. The Arrowverse is part of the multiverse that they're tapping into. So which Earth naming convention are they going to go? Are they going to remake it? Which doesn't make sense because they've already set up a naming convention for all of the Earths. So we'll see. I was hoping they destroyed the Snyderverse during Crisis on Infinite Earths. They also kind of hinted that it was its own thing, which doesn't make sense because they're able to visit the same Earths. Because Grant Gustin, they visited Michael Keaton's Earth, and Ezra Miller is also going to be able to visit Michael Keaton's Earth. So are there two Earth 2s in two separate multiverses connected by the metaverse? Because there is a metaverse in DC now. There is the multiverse, and there's the universes, multiverse, and then there's the metaverse or the omniverse. I can't remember what they call it. It's either the metaverse or the omniverse, which encompasses multiple multiverses. It's just, I don't know. They need to make this streamlined because they're talking about more crossovers with the shows too, with the TV shows. They're talking about more crossovers between the Arrowverse shows on CW and the films. There's even rumors of them making Arrowverse movies. So they need to really iron this shit out for it to make sense, because they've already established what Earths all these shows are on, even the HBO Max shows. So they need to line up on this shit, or they're just going to start confusing people. Yeah, because like you said, like what's it going to do? Are we going to have two different Earth 2s, or is Robert Pattinson's Batman on Stargirl's Earth 2? Because we've established that Stargirl is on Earth 2. Which it would fit. It's possible. So which is canon, Justice League or the Snyderverse? Unfortunately, as far as they've said, it's still the Justice League, but I still consider it the Snyderverse because he started everything. But they're intent on destroying it with the Flash film. What actor would I want for Reed Richards? I'd like Brandon Routh or John Krasinski would be my two highest picks. I think we might have some cameo with Grant Gustin. I think so too. I think there's 100% Grant Gustin's going to be, if not on the show, it's going to be on there. DC talk. Never been a fan of DC that are not comics or animated. Dude, I prefer DC over Marvel. 100%. Now the MCU over the DCEU. I mean, it's just consistent and better. But I just prefer the DC universe and lore and comics and characters more than anything in the Marvel universe. I don't know if Michael Rosenbaum would be a good fit for Reed Richards. What's my favorite DMX song? I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Cradle to the Grave, probably. Well, that's a movie. Wasn't there a song for that too? Called the same thing? I don't remember. Whatever the song for Cradle to the Grave was. DCEU and DCE2. You see the Earth Batman Forever. Batman and Robin are in. I hear there Val Kilmer and George Clooney would be back as Bruce Wayne. Val Kilmer coming back as Bruce Wayne would be very difficult because after his stroke, it's very hard for him to act. So I don't know if we'll see a Val Kilmer Batman come back. But the Val Kilmer and George Clooney Batmans were always made to be continuations of the Tim Burton movies. Even if they're not consistent with those films, that's what they were intended to be. So who knows? They could end up labeling something different in the long run, but we'll see. And The Rock, yes, The Rock indeed is pushing for them to be associated with the Snyderverse because that's where he wants the Black Adam to take place.